Alright, update. Went and got some lunch. Got myself some paint. Painted a little bit. And this is how it fits in the truck. Remember, it's a 2017 4Runner. And the paint is actually pretty cool. I don't know if you can see, it's got some texture. Like little bits of sand. I like that. So I painted underneath, all around the sides, the back, all the stuff that I'm not going to be able to do later. And this is the first drawer. And the way this is going to work is it's going to slide all the way out. So it's a pretty long drawer. And inside it, it's going to house another smaller drawer. So the reason why this drawer here has those kind of the sides that don't go all the way up is because there's going to be another piece of wood that goes in between here at this height. I've measured it so that my trusty Coleman camp stove, so just imagine there's a piece of wood across there. Let me just mark it up for you. Now the piece of wood is going to go not on top but in between. Okay, so it's not going to be like that. But just to give you an idea, it's going to house in there like that. Okay, and you can see it's sitting too high, so about 3/4 of an inch lower, because that piece of wood that's sitting on top of the edges is going to be nestled inside the drawer, and it's going to go the full length of the drawer, the top. And I haven't put that on yet because what I'm going to do is make the inner drawer first, because I can get in there and do all the sliders and all that jazz, and then when that's done I can put the top on this thing and then fix the sliders on this one onto the box, and put a divider that's going to go in here, a secondary divider. So what I've decided is I'm going to have one divider here, one there, about 6 inches, another one, and then another drawer. And that drawer won't have a secondary drawer, it will just be a full drawer to fit bigger things. And in the middle, on the top, this is all going to be have a top. So once everything's done, that's the last piece that goes on. I'm going to cut out a hatch, and that will access all my electronic goods that are going to be going in there. Anyways, progress, it's good. Again, my woodworking techniques aren't crash hot, but so far everything's going square, and if it isn't, I'm finagling it. Again, with the drill bit, this drill bit that I'm using, which is here, I'll show you. It's again, I've built a lot of home improvement crap, but this here is a game changer. So it has a countersunk drill, so it drills up to here, and then here it's got a beveled edge, so it hides all these screw heads. Usually I just torque them a little bit harder, but when I do this, the screws it's allowing me to bend the wood if it's not straight, and then get that screw in. So I usually drill the holes with that. And then what's nice about this bit is that it has a interchangeable, so I don't need two cordless drills, and there it is. So that was super helpful. Now the ends, I had it standing up on this, so I didn't paint this yet, and I'm trying to figure out if I want my overall drawer faces, the front of the drawers, to go over that like as a lip, or have it be flush to that. And I don't know what I'm going to do. If I post this before I finish, send me some feedback, let me know. Because the face of this drawer here is going to have two. It's going to be one face for the main drawer, and then a small cutout for the little drawer that's going to go in there. So hopefully it looks neat. This paint goes on really well on wood. I found that I used a little cheapy roller, but I found that sometimes you have to go 2 coats. Like I'm seeing back there, it's not like full coverage. and it's usually if the wood is too smooth, it doesn't grab on, where I've got like for some reason another piece here that is a little rough, and it just went on real good. So 2 coats might have to be the deal, and yeah, I'm painting it for aesthetic reasons, but I also, as I said, this truck is not a garage queen, and so what I want is I want the wood to be easy to clean and seal, and yeah, it has this rough texture, so you know, maybe it's, you know, it's going to get grimy. I don't think so, or it's going to be hard on sponges and stuff, but I want to be able to seal the wood as much as I can. I'm sure there are better products for this, but I really wanted this texture, and I could, you know, push comes to shove, something horrible spills in there, hope not, what I can do is just hose the bloody thing down, you know, and that should be easy. Now I am, the top, which is a piece of wood, I am just going to paint that, so it's got a nice grippy surface with some L-track that I mentioned before that I'm going to have running, so I can strap my fridge or strap other things to it. But you know, I'm kind of on the fence on that. I thought about just going, you know, like a rubber mat might be nice, and then I could just, if it gets dirty, I could just throw it. Maybe I'll do both, but we'll see. I just got to remember now that I've got to do a hatch there. I did buy a piano hinge so I can get that done, and first time I'm installing a piano hinge, usually I use some overly engineered ugly thing. So far so good. I'm quite happy with it, so I'll report back once I get more into it. I'm going to do that inside drawer next, I think, because I've got the sliders for that. The big sliders are on their way, so I can't do much with that, and I'm going to cheat a little bit and not install that divider until I got the drawer slides, just in case I screw up something. I can you know, fit the divider according to the dimensions, so it works. If you're wondering how that stove works, it's really good. It does take a little bit of space, but it's old school. These things never break. I've had this one for many years. It's dirty as hell. It's rusted in some parts, and I've thought about, you know, cleaning it and give it a good coat of paint, but it is what it is. It has two burners. One burner is really good. The other one's just kind of a simmering one, but it works on gasoline. And you know, one of the things that I thought about is, okay, so when I've got that pulled out, you know, somewhere in this vicinity, you know, is it going to be an issue with this? And I don't think so. The tailgate, it's not like I'm going to cook the tailgate, and I'm not, you know, cooking anything insane. Worst thing that can happen is, you know, I've got a little bit of grease that goes up there because of sausages, but we could figure that out. It's a good problem to have. Also, because this is going to have a secondary drawer that comes out, and it's going to have a what I mentioned before, a tabletop coffee hinge, which just came in. They're actually these things here. So this should, I think they're mounted like that. Hopefully it fits. I think it just fits. We'll be able to pop up. And if they don't fit, I'll end up putting it on this drawer here. It gives me the option to actually, because I'm not going to bolt the stove down, I'm going to actually grab it, and I can actually put it on the secondary drawer. So look, this thing's going to evolve, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, updates coming up soon.